This is about the closest I'll probably ever have in my life to an I am Spartacus moment.
Ooh. Well, we played it twice because it's so much fun. Cory Booker's Spartacus moment on Capitol Hill earlier this month had a lot of people speculating that he is preparing a presidential bid, but the New Jersey senator insists that he is not thinking about 2020. His sights are set on the midterm elections, and that is exactly 6 weeks away. Booker telling New York Times, quote, "My priority is flipping Congress seats at home so that we are spending a lot of time raising money for folks, which is something that's really needed." Really? Joining me now, Chris Darwalt, Fox News politics editor and author of the new book, Every Man a King, A Short, Colorful History of American Populace. I highly recommend it. It is a great book. Chris, good to have you here this evening.
Thank you, madam.
Cory Booker's not running for president, apparently.
Well, you know, if you want to get extra help from Cory Booker or Kamala Harris and Bernie Sanders or any of the Democrats who are probably going to run in 2020, maybe be from Iowa. Maybe that would be extra helpful. Maybe be from New Hampshire. Maybe be from an electorally important state. This is a charade, and both parties do it every 4 years.
Absolutely.
This is a charade you go through, because if you get caught with your hand in the cookie jar, if you get caught going for the presidential before the midterms are done, you look like a heel. You look like you're selfish. So you're like, oh, I would never do anything like that. That's so far-fetched.
There's sort of an unwritten rule, even in, you know, the work that we do, where people are allowed to say to you, I am definitely not running. And then they're allowed to say 6 months later, I have decided, I've changed my mind.
Does this dress make my butt look big?
All right, moving right along. Let's take a look at Florida, because there's a new Quinnipiac poll that you say is very interesting. Florida is a state that Donald Trump won by, I believe, 1%.
It was close. 116,000 votes.
So what do you think of this?
This is a huge shift, and it's a shift that we also saw reflected in an NBC News Marist poll that was also out today. But the Quinnipiac poll is, I prefer. That's one of my faves.
Why do you like it?
They have good methodology, and they also share their crosstabs, so we can see how many Republicans, how are the Republicans voting, what do the independents say, and how are women.
It's likely voters.
And we're in a likely voter poll, and this tells me, and also it tells me about the persistent lead that the Democratic gubernatorial candidate has in Florida, Andrew Gillum. The Democrats in Florida, something switched down there. Some switch flipped in Florida. I don't know whether it has to do with Kavanaugh. I don't know whether it has to do with something else, whether it's state issues about they've had this red tide and all this stuff.
Rick Scott got shouted out of a restaurant himself or some public place recently over that issue.
So something happened in Florida over the last few weeks that has changed the climate there in a pretty dramatic way, and it's reflected in several polls.
Very interesting. All right, Arizona is another one that is going to be very closely watched. Kristen Sinema and Martha McSally. This one is pretty tight.
You know I love this race. This is like my favorite. On election night, when you say, we're going to talk about Arizona, you're going to say, let's go to Chris, because I will say, this has been my favorite all along. You have two moderate female members of Congress running against each other in a state that is politically changing in a very close race.
For the seat of Jeff Flake.
Yep, for the seat of Jeff Flake in a very, very close race. This one is going to be contested brutally, intensely at every step of the way. It's going to tell us a lot about the climate nationally. It's going to tell us a lot about the electorate. And they're two good campaigners that are running two good campaigns. I love to see it.
So here is a very interesting ad. This, people get creative, right? This guy is creative with Bigfoot, and I know you really like this one, so let's play it. We'll get Chris's reaction.
I started to wonder, did Eric Paulson really exist? I mean, where's the proof? Some blurry photo taken from miles away?
I love that it's universally understood that if you walk that way, everyone's mind goes right back to the Bigfoot in the woods picture.
Which is why I get mistaken for him when I walk over to the train station.
When sometimes you do the briefcase thing.
That's right. But so Eric Paulson has a reputation. They're trying to stick to Eric Paulson, the Republican incumbent in Minnesota, and the argument being he's never in the district, he's always at home. But using humor is a good idea. There's a famous Mitch McConnell ad from long, long ago where they're leading a pack of bloodhounds through the woods to try to find the missing congressman. They're going to find the missing congressman. Using humor is a good idea. It connects you with voters, and they're going to remember this in the district long after they've forgotten attack ad 1,137.
And people always think, ha-ha, funny when they think Mitch McConnell, which is also true.
Fear the turtle. Fear the turtle. That's all I can tell you.
Chris, thank you.
You bet.
Thanks for being up here tonight. Good to see you.